Hello and welcome to today's webinar, Online Lead Generation, Drive Sales by Leading People to Your Digital Door. I'm your moderator, Jenny Alton from the New York Small Business Development Center Central Office. Today's presenter is Erik Bunaes, President of Endorphin Digital Marketing. This webinar is brought to you by the New York Small Business Development Center, a network of 22 campus-based centers and outreach offices which are located across New York State, along with a central office based in Albany. The NYSBDC is a U.S. Small Business Administration resource partner. Our free advising, education, research, and advocacy services are made possible by funding from the SBA, New York State, and our host campuses. So you know, this session is being recorded. We will share it with attendees in the next few days, along with a PDF of resources from the presentation. Attendees are muted and will not be on camera. Your chats will only be visible to me and our presenter. If you have any questions during the presentation, please don't hesitate to type them in the Q&A box as they come up. You can open Zoom's Q&A box from the Q&A button at the bottom of your Zoom window. We will hold most questions until the end of Erik's presentation to ensure he can get through all of his material today. We'll answer as many questions as we have time for, but for very specific questions that may take more time and detail to answer, or if we run out of time to answer all questions, you can get in touch with Erik through the contact info he will share during his presentation. You can also reply to the follow-up email you will receive to get further assistance. And with that, I will turn the time over to our fantastic presenter, Erik Bunaes. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you very much, Jenny. I appreciate it. And thank you to the Small Business Development Center for hosting this webinar today. It's a very good presentation. We're going to learn a lot today about generating leads. So, you know, most small businesses, we need to get more sales, more leads, more sales, talking to more people that we don't know. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Here's a little bit about myself. I'm owner of a digital marketing company called Endorphin Digital Marketing. We got started with this business back in 2006. So we are over 15 years old, and we've been doing this seems like forever. I'm also a professional speaker and trainer for Constant Contact. So I've done over 350 of these types of classes and webinars over the last decade or so. And I'm also an adjunct professor teaching a digital marketing course that I created at the College of St. Rose. Here's my contact information. If you have any questions or you want to reach out to me directly, that's what I'm here for. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me. This is a little bit about our company. So we're a marketing company first, meaning we help our clients find their clients and their customers and develop strategies to attract customers digitally and then provide leads and sales. And then everything we deliver in our work is all digital. So we do digital marketing strategy, we build and maintain websites, we do SEO, search engine optimization, we do a lot of digital advertising, and we do demand generation, or helping our customers get leads and sales, new customers. So we generally focus on professional services, small businesses, and nonprofits, a variety of businesses. Again, I'm a partner at Constant Contact. Email marketing is essential for businesses to promote their businesses, to build relationships with customers, to attract new customers. So you should be using some sort of email marketing in your marketing strategy. If you would like a demo of Constant Contact or try it or learn how much it costs, etc., I'm happy to help you with that. Okay, so we're going to talk about lead generation today. And what is that? What does it mean? We're going to talk about inbound marketing, which is sort of online lead generation. Talk about, again, what is lead generation? What does it mean? How do we go about doing it? How do we think about it? How do we track our performance and improve our performance? We'll talk about some tips of generating and capturing leads or potential new customers. Again, the performance part, and then we'll talk a little bit about our 5-step Endorphin e-business roadmap model, as that gives you a good idea on how to go about this process of developing leads and nurturing leads and turning them into customers and turning them into repeat customers. So there's a lot to learn here today, and I think this will be a good class for most people here, because this, is part of owning a business. Is you've got to generate sales, and a lot of people start a business because they're good at something, whether they're an insurance person or a payroll person or a lawyer or an accountant or, any of the other millions of services out there. You own a restaurant, you own a store, you own, whatever it is. And so you're good at that, right? You're a good accountant, you're a good salesperson, you're a good insurance person, whatever it is. But then you have to get sales, right? You have to bring in customers to make enough money to pay your bills, pay yourself, keep your business going, hire people, etc. It can be quite expensive running a business, and it's certainly gets expensive when you start having employees and offices and things like that, maybe equipment, etc. So, the lead generation becomes more and more important and more a part of a business owner's job than perhaps they realized before they started their business. So it's a very interesting topic, and we certainly know that a lot of small businesses struggle in this area, because they, this is a pretty specific thing to do, especially when it comes to the digital stuff. So, what we want to think about in online lead generation is we need a lot of visibility online, right? That makes sense. We need people to find us, digitally speaking. So maybe it's our website, maybe it's articles we've written, maybe it's our social media profiles, maybe it's email that they're getting from us. It could be a lot of different things that are touch points online when people are on their computer or their smartphone or their tablet or whatever else, or their smart TV. So that's part of it, right? Is being visible online. And so we've got to make sure that customers know who we are, know our name, and can find us and remember us and what we do when they need what we do. So there's some really specific ways to generate new leads and sales, and we're going to talk about that. Okay. So again, it's this process of attracting and capturing very specific, like, ideal customers, right? Or like the type of people that want our services or want to work with us or need what we provide. We need to, attract them to us so they know who we are online, and then, kind of engage with them or talk to them or, get them, because they've got to kind of make the first move online, right? They've got to reach out to us. So this is an important element of it. And one of the most important things to think about and to remember clearly in your mind is that you should have a mindset of people don't know who you are. Okay? They don't remember you. They don't know exactly what you do. And the for those of you that are in business, you probably know that. For the people that are newer business owners or plan on starting a business or are in a more marketing role for a business, you have to think that way, that people aren't going to remember you. They don't know your name. They don't know all the services you provide. And so you have to remind them what you do and who you do it for and how you're different from your competition and why you're the people that they should be talking to. So that's a really important element of this. And that's where we often find that our customers don't generate enough leads because they forget that, people really don't know them. Okay. So lead generation through certain strategies that we're going to talk about, if you focus on this, you are going to enjoy a lot of benefits in your business. You are going to see your business grow. You are going to get in front of and talk to the right kind of people, the customers that make sense for your business. Ongoing lead generation strategies are very cost effective. They can be very cost effective when done correctly. So the ROI, or the return on investment, can be very favorable for certain types of lead generation. It's important to know and remember that lead generation should be a constant in your business. If you wait till your business is slow, then it's going to be too late, because online lead generation typically takes some time to build relationships, to educate your potential customers, to attract them in the first place, etc. And once you're really good at this kind of stuff, you have a real competitive advantage, okay? Because not a lot of people are really good at this stuff, okay? So in online lead generation, kind of relies on a unique element of marketing that's often referred to as inbound marketing. So marketing, prior to the internet or prior to, say, the year 2000, was about display or disrupting events or messages or whatever to get your name in front of people, right? So, think about newspaper advertising or magazine advertising or television advertising. You're showing ads that are disrupting what people are watching. And so, often they would just skip it, right? Or if you're watching a commercial on TV, that's the time when you go and get a snack, right? Or do something else. So that's kind of outbound marketing, right? That could even include cold calls, telephone marketing, direct mail. You're trying to get people's attention by sending them stuff or putting messages in front of them. Inbound marketing is the opposite thing. So inbound marketing is sort of trying to attract leads to you. And it's particularly relevant to online marketing, right? To digital marketing, where people are searching on a search engine like Google or Bing, and so you will do certain things to get found more in those search results. That is an example of inbound marketing. Another thing would be social media, right? We're trying to get people's attention and then, maybe include links to our website, right? And so, we're trying to get people to follow those links to get back to our website. So, excuse me. So inbound marketing is also really good for like complex topics, right? Think about health situations or health and wellness or financial or insurance or complicated things like that, right? Retirement planning, all sorts of things like this where people might go online and say, well, how do I plan for retirement? Or even other services like construction stuff, right? Like how do you wire a light socket, right? Or how do you um, fix a toilet or fix a water faucets or things like that. So those are other examples where people are searching not for you, but for help, for information, and maybe they will find you, right? So search engines are a prime example of inbound marketing, okay, and a special SEO, right? Search engine optimization. So again, we want to provide like useful, relevant information or experiences or photos or tips or things like that. And we do that so that people go, oh, well, that's helpful. And I guess these guys are are knowledgeable about this particular thing, right? So that's kind of the idea of this. And so it gets a little more sophisticated as we sort of go along, and we'll show you all this stuff. Another really important part of this is that businesses that know their customers best will be the most successful, okay, over the longer term. So we should understand that our customers, whoever they are, that they're changing, right? And there's so many different variables or factors when it comes to why our customers' lives are changing. But think about, the pandemic, right? That was a huge disruption for businesses and people, and it changed so many things, right? It changed everything for at least for a period of time. Think about the changes in the economy. When the economy is doing really well, that's one type of economy. But if the economy is doing really poorly, then that's a different type, right? Think about regulatory stuff, right? Laws and regulations and stuff like that. Think about competitive pressures. So your customers, they all have alternatives to you, right? They may be direct alternatives that, are very similar to what you do, or they may be indirect. They may be different kinds of approaches to a potential situation, right? So there's lots of competition out there. So again, these are reasons that you have to understand your ideal customers very, very well. And you have to understand them today. If you kind of studied your customers or talked to your customers 10 years ago and you say, oh, I know my customers, well, you might not. And if you're not seeing a flow of new business to your business, then it may be because your customers, their needs have changed, their preferences have changed. what they expect has changed. So if you are not doing that well in business, it's the first thing to do is to go and talk to your customers and say, what do you need when it comes to, whatever you provide? What are your alternatives? Who are the competitors that you recognize and that you would have no problem calling if you needed their services, right? Talk to your customers. This is the way to know them better than your competition and to serve them better. So very, very important. And then, as you know your customers, you can give them information and tools and resources and all sorts of stuff that is very helpful for them. And that is exactly what they need and want. Then you are going to be very successful, right? So some really important things, and these are things that a lot of business owners just don't think about in their day-to-day of, hey, I'm an attorney, or hey, I'm a contractor or whatever. And they're not necessarily trying to think about these things in sort of that broader sense of, what do my customers need? How do they talk about it? Because the words they use it's very important, especially in search engines, right? And certain types of digital marketing, very, very important. So when we are thinking about, okay, we want to attract leads, and from a marketer's perspective, we say we want to attract people that we don't know, right? So these would be entirely new customers that we haven't talked to before, or we haven't, they haven't been customers previously. We want to attract these new people that we don't know. So there's 3 really good tools or strategies to a good marketing strategy that will work for you. And that is focusing on search engines, digital advertising, and social media. So you see that I don't mention email marketing here, because email marketing does not work very well for people that don't know you or that we don't know. Because if you get email from people you don't know, that's called spam, and most people don't like spam. So we shouldn't include email in this phase of attracting people we don't know, the very beginning, earliest stages of this lead generation strategy. Okay, we should focus on search engines, digital advertising, and social media. Those are all very good strategies to attract new customers. Now, one of the things that's really important, as we said, was we need to understand exactly how people search for us. What words do they use? And we can't make assumptions, right? And especially in certain industries, industry experts may use different words and different terms to refer to their services than customers do. So think about all the industry jargon in, construction, in insurance, in financial planning. There's all these acronyms and, stuff like that. Your customers probably don't talk like that. And if you don't recognize that and go and try and use their language, they're not going to find you. Okay. So this is part of being a good marketer, is to understand when you need to listen to the customers, right? So in the online world, there's a tool called the Google Keyword Planner, right? And so you can go into the Google Keyword Planner and you can search for terms and find out exactly how many searches there were per month over the last year, or whatever, right? So when we do these kinds of projects, SEO, digital advertising, etc., we don't guess. We don't tell our customers that we know what words their customers use. We do research like this, and we find out the exact words that and combinations of words and phrases that our customers do search. And then we know how to use those words in SEO best practices and advertising to attract the traffic that we know is searching these particular words. Okay, so the keyword planner is a really important tool in our process. And the idea is you are going to get, if you put in, keywords, you're going to get this list of data and actual keyword combinations, and then you've got to choose what is best for you, because you can only optimize a page on your website for a single keyword. So if you have 10 pages on your website, you can only optimize those 10 pages for 10 keywords. So it's very specific and it's very targeted, and that's how we know we can drive visitors up for our clients, because we know the best practices of how to do this, and we do it all the time, and it's difficult. So when we're thinking about our lead generation process, we need to go back to our sales funnel, right? And we need to remember that, okay, are we going after particular people? Are we trying to fill the very top of the funnel? Like I said before, was the people that we don't know. That would be the very top of the funnel. Or maybe, there are different strategies to go after people that have already shown interest, that have visited our website, or that have, called us to ask questions or things like that, right? There's different strategies for different types, different groups or segments of people. Okay, so we want to make sure that with our strategies that we are putting together, that we are using the right type of information for the right type of person, right? And if you're not doing that, then the campaign's just not going to hit, right? Because if you're somebody that, doesn't know a potential company, and then now you're trying to push them towards, signing on to be a customer, then it's just not going to work, because they still have lots of questions. They're still going through their learning and research phase. And, so there's again, elements of how do you match, your specific offers or strategy towards specific groups of people. Okay. So that's also important. So here's a couple sort of examples, right, of some kind of offers or lead generation ideas in terms of trying to get people to the next step, to turn them into actual customers. So maybe you're offering like a free quote or a proposal, right? Maybe you're offering like a free review or account review or analysis, or, some sort of thing like that. In our case, we offer like a free website audit, right? So these are tools that, are targeted for people that are sort of high up in the sales funnel, that are early in the process, that are still sort of researching, well, I think I need a marketing firm, and I'm going to look around and kind of see who's out there and what they do, and see if I find any that are interesting. Well, we're giving things away like this so that people will, learn something about where they are, and then understand, our expertise. So, we also offer like free checklists, white papers, guides, things like that. So again, we kind of just help people that, are still looking at this early stage of, hey, I need to improve my digital marketing. I'm not even sure where to start. So maybe looking at these guides or white papers or checklists might help them, right? Maybe you offer a free product trial or a demo of some sort, right? Or maybe it's like some free interactive tool, like for retirement planners, they will often, put up a free tool of some sort on their website, and people can use that free tool to see, how close are they to retirement. And maybe they will get a free report or something like that if they put their contact information in or something like that. So those kinds of things where you're helping people kind of take the next step, and giving them some valuable, useful, helpful information. And so, but you're trying to get them to come a little closer, right? So you're trying to, maybe get their email address, or get them, their contact information, or maybe you can get them to sign up for a 30-minute consultation of some sort, right? Or review of the results from the interactive tool, or checklist, or whatever it is. Industry reports, free online classes, there's all sorts of things that you can give away to help your customers, and show them sort of the process you go through, and your expertise, your insight, all that kind of stuff. And so these are all really good examples of these kinds of, special offers, and they any of them could be useful for you. So you just have to be creative and think, what do my customers want, and what can I give them that will be, helpful and easy for them to do, and sort of get a little insight into, what it would be like to work with us. Okay. So if you're going to offer some of these kind of special free offers sort of thing, then, you're going to offer them via, maybe landing pages on your website, or maybe social media posts, or advertising campaigns to say, hey, get a free retirement plan, just click this link and you go over here. So wherever that link goes is really, really important. So wherever that link goes, if it goes, for example, say, hey, get a free retirement plan with by using a free tool. And if you just take people like to your homepage, they're going to get to your homepage and they're going to be like, well, where's that free tool? And they're not going to click around searching for it. So you've got to sort of send them right to that tool, and you've got to make the click and where they go exactly match what they think they're going to get from the ad or the social post or whatever. Okay. So again, it can be anything. I mean, it could be, you could provide a video overview that says, hey, here's our, our proposal process, and we'll show you a couple of examples of our work. And maybe you do that in a short video, and then you just say, click here to get your free blah, blah, blah. So, video in this situation is very, very helpful. And the video can be, again, it can be on your website, it can be on social media, it can be in your ad, it could be, all sorts of different places. You may write an article that shows up in like an industry publication, or something like that. There's all sorts of places to go, or to show off these special offers. So thinking about this is understanding also that if we put our offers in different places, then and people click on those links to go to our offers and maybe go back to our website or something like that, then that's going to also help our SEO performance. Excuse me. So if you have these links that you use to kind of make these offers, and you have links in your email newsletters, your ads, your other websites, in articles, in podcasts, on YouTube, on social media, blah, blah, blah. There could be so many different places that you put these links to your free offers. And if Google sees that you have these links and people are clicking on them and going to wherever the link takes them, and then they, stay on that, maybe they fill out the form or stay on that page for a long time and, watch a video, or, the longer they stay on that page, or if they're on your website, the more pages they see, Google will see that, and that will help your SEO performance. So then more people will find those links, will find your website, and will hopefully become customers. So the links from other places back to your website are very, very important. And this is a great example of a good way to offer things and get people to take those links and find out more, and hopefully become customers, and in the process improve your SEO. Okay, so I mentioned again that sort of part of the challenge of all this is getting our customers to kind of take the first step, right? We can put all these offers out there, but if they're not appealing offers and people don't click on the links and take advantage of it, it doesn't help us, right? So it's something where we've got to sort of get people to do those, and then we got to capture those leads, right? And one of the things that is very, very good in this stage of lead generation is if we can get people to give us their email address, then we can set up an automated series that says, hey, here's your download, here's your video, here's your course, here is your workshop, here's your analysis, whatever it is, and then have a couple other automatic emails that go out and say, hey, hope you got this link, here it is again. Maybe the next email says, hey, the next step after you do this is to do this, this, and this, or why don't you call us for a free consultation or a meeting so we can, blah, blah, blah. But here is where automated email becomes very, very useful. So, and there's also the interesting statistic at the bottom there. You see that almost 80% of the ROI of email marketing comes from targeted automated emails. Again, very important. If automated emails have a very high open rate. They have a much higher open rate than do your normal like newsletter type emails. And the reason they do is because of the context. So in this situation, your automatic emails are referring to, hey, you came to our website, you downloaded this course or filled out this calculator or whatever you did, and here's a little information. Here's something that we promised you, right? So, you know, you think about when you buy something from Amazon, they send you an automated email to confirm your purchase, right? And you're going to open that. You'll be like, hey, all right, good. They got my purchase. They're going to send it to me. Excellent. And then they're going to send another email, and maybe the next day said, hey, it's shipped. Hey, here's a link to check your tracking, your shipping, right? To see the progress of it, right? And, you know, if you're excited about what you bought, you look at that and you go, hey, cool, it left the warehouse. It's on its way to wherever I am, you know? So these automated emails are so important. And this is where you get the ROI of email marketing. This is where you are building that relationship with your potential customer. Of course, once you already set up these automated emails, you don't have to do it again. So it's automatic. So it saves you time. So there's nothing bad about using automated emails. There are so many benefits to it. So this is one good example of using those. Okay, so I just talked about all these kinds of things. All right. Digital advertising in this type of situation is perfect. Okay. Especially search ads. So those are the ads that look like search results. So if you go on to Google and you type in, you know, retirement planning, you're going to find a whole bunch of results, right? Some of those say sponsored on, and those are ads. But most people don't even care that those are ads. They click on them anyway. And we do a lot of that type of advertising for our clients, and the click-through rates are fantastic. The costs are very low, and the performance of these ads are very good because people go to search and then they're looking for something in particular, and then your ad shows up and they click on it. So that kind of advertising is very, very good for this kind of campaign. There's also retargeting ads, which are very, very good also, and even cheaper. Those are the ads that if you go and visit somebody's site, right, you go to homedepot.com, and then you go leave their website and you go to other websites, well, now you're going to start seeing ads for homedepot.com. Those are retargeting ads. Those ads are free until you click and go back to their website a second time. So those are really, really good ads for people that know you, right? Not that we don't know, but we do know because they already came to our website once. Now we're just getting them to come back again. So very, very effective. We do a lot of that kind of advertising too. Landing pages are very important. Again, I said earlier that, you know, where we send somebody when they click on a link is very important. And one way to do that is just to send people to a standalone landing page. And one of the best things about landing pages is the difference between them and a page on your website is there's no navigation. So if somebody goes to a page on your website, they might go, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then they go look at the navigation and go, oh, I want to click and see about these people or about this company, or maybe see their services. Well, then they click and they're gone from that landing page. So with a real landing page, standalone landing page, there is no other navigation on the page. So the only option is to either take your offer or close that page. That's it. So again, landing pages are really important, and there's a lot of benefits of using standalone landing pages versus a page on your website. Okay. And then lead nurturing. You may be familiar with this term. This is just the idea that you're going to get a potential customer, and they're going to come to you. Maybe you talk to them, maybe you don't, and they may be interested. They may even tell you, "Hey, I'm interested in retirement planning," but they're like, "Well, I'm kind of busy now. I'm not really interested in it today, but I know I got to do this." So how do you stay in contact with those kinds of people to keep them, to nurture that lead, to keep talking to them, to keep providing them useful information, to keep them interested in whatever they were interested in the beginning, and to hopefully eventually bring them back to the table and get them as customers? So this idea of lead nurturing is really important, especially for services type businesses, maybe B2B type services. Think about like IT consulting and, payroll services and insurance and lawyers and accountants and marketing firms and all this stuff. A company may need us. We may think they're the great fit for us, but they're not ready to buy. And so we want to just kind of keep in touch with them. So this is called lead nurturing. And this is an important element of something to think about and understand and have a strategy for. So all of this stuff that we do is digital. And part of that is because we like analytics. We want to know exactly what's happening on the web. And we have great tools that can help our clients see and track and understand this stuff and learn what's working and not working in terms of generating leads and new customers. So there are tools like Google Analytics, Google Search Console, performance analytics from email, ads, social media, videos, etc. And so we use this kind of data and to understand, what's working, what's not working, where are the holes in our strategy, what can be improved, things like that. So there, if you set this up right, there's a lot of great data, and that's the stuff we use. So we created this thing called the e-business roadmap to kind of illustrate how we think about digital marketing. Okay, so I'm going to explain this kind of quickly, but basically, you start at your website and you've got your website there. You've got all your good information on your website, and so then we move to the next step, which is the optimizing. And so we want to make sure in the optimization step that we are making sure that our website has all the good, right information, relevant information, and it's up to date, it works well, etc. From another sense of optimization is like the SEO optimization, right? So are we using the right keywords, and are we using them in the right way to get the most SEO performance? So that's part of the optimization step. The third step is communicating. So we should be communicating with our customers regularly. There's lots of competition out there for every business. There's lots of alternatives. Our competition is going to be trying to reach out to our customers and our potential customers. So we need to kind of keep communicating with our customers and our potential customers so that they remember our name, that they understand what we do, they remember what we do, all that kind of stuff. The fourth step is campaigns. So campaigns is more like a specific short-term effort to bring on leads or sales, right? So you might think of an ad campaign to promote a certain service or product or something like that. Maybe it's like timely with the season. You think of, in the Northeast where we are, right? We think of, there's winter, spring, summer, and fall. And, those are different seasons, right? So if you're like a contractor, right, and you work outside, you might be, promoting different things at different times of the year because of the seasonality. So could be also maybe related to tax time, right? So, or the end of the year, or, whatever it is. So your campaigns are more short-term. So maybe, a month or 3 months or 6 months of a specific campaign that you're running. And then the last step is analyze or analysis, right? So we want to look at all of the data that we have gotten from, Google search data, Google Analytics, our ad performance perhaps, or email performance, or all these things, and see how did we do. Okay, and then we go, well, what can we do better? And then we think about that, we plan, and then we go back to the first step, website. We update our website, we optimize it, we continue our communications, we have a new campaign that we're running, and then we get to the analyze step again. And then we look at our performance. And then we think, what did we learn? What can we do better? And we go back and we do it again. And if we keep doing this sort of ongoing iteration of try things, fix things, measure the performance, what did we learn, try something else. We keep doing this over and over and over. Maybe it's a quarterly thing that we do, maybe, whatever. We are going to grow. Our business will grow if we continue to do this. The reason is, if we keep trying things and analyzing the results, we are going to learn what works, what doesn't work. And we're going to start to focus on things that work, and we're going to get better and better and better. So really useful model, I think, in terms of sort of seeing the iterative process of digital marketing, at least how we think of it. And so that's, I think, important and hopefully useful to people. So that's it. And I hope that was helpful. And are there any questions, Jenny?
There are indeed. We have some great questions.
Okay.
So the first one, we've had some interest in Google Ads particularly. And so when do you recommend paying for Google Ads? And can you give us any more information about small businesses who are thinking, like what might be the criteria to meet for Google Ads to be really beneficial for a particular small business?
Yeah. So Google Ads work really, really well. We know that because we do these every day, so we know they work really, really well. They're very good. So like search ads are really good because we know that there are a enormous number of searches every day. So people go to Google to search things. And so if we want to attract people that we don't know, or even people we do know, but the search ads in particular, they just work very, very well. Now they're complicated because the Google platform is built for it's got a lot of tools. So it's built for companies that, do like $1 million a month in advertising or more. And so it's got to have all these tools to manage these complicated campaigns. But so it is a little complicated. But with our small business clients, we say if you can start off with a $500 a month budget, which is about $7 a day, so it's $7 daily budget. That's a sufficient amount of spend so that you will get a sufficient amount of data to see what is working and what is not. Okay. Hopefully that helps.
Absolutely. So next question, what kind of online tools can you suggest for the best lead generation? So talking particular tools, if you could give some more recommendations or recap some of the recommendations that you've given.
Yeah. I think it's less about the tools that you use and more about the offers that you can make. So in our mind, and when we're working with clients, we always think of, the website, maybe the blog, including on that, social media, email, and advertising. And video is, I don't know if that's a tool or whatever, but video is very, very useful today. And short videos can be, on your website, email, social, and ads, all everywhere. Emails work or video works very, very well. So you don't need anything too fancy in terms of tools. I mean, you just need a good website, social media, that they're all free. Email, we're big fans of Constant Contact. We think it's a great tool. And video, just put it on YouTube, which is free, which is also the second biggest search engine, right? So make sure you put your videos on YouTube. So those are really all the tools you need. Okay. And Google Ads, you can just go and use the Google Ads platform. And that's free too, but doesn't include your ad budget. Hope that helps.
Yes. So we have, since you're touching on social media and stuff here, we have several questions regarding social media as far as, so we'll go through a series here. Which social media platforms do you feel are best for online lead generation? Are some better than others?
It's going to depend on who your audience is. That your audience will dictate where you should be. I don't necessarily think I'll say it this way. Social media alone will not drive your business, drive enough new customers to make you successful. Unless you are on video every single day, at least once, posting a new video, and you have a very large audience, social media is just not going to do it for you. And that's why we see so many small businesses that are struggling with getting sales because they're relying on social media, and it just doesn't work. You've got to do some ads, you've got to do some SEO work, you've got to do some email. So social media is a component, but it will not make your business, unfortunately.
So do you ever see businesses use LinkedIn as a platform for online lead generation in any way?
Absolutely. If your target market is businesses or professionals, LinkedIn is where to be. That's where those kinds of people are. And if that's your target audience, absolutely. Yes.
So one person also about LinkedIn has started writing articles to build credibility there for their business. Do you see that as a good use of time for a new small business? And where else might it be good to post those articles for this business owner?
That's a good strategy, but it's gonna probably take more than that. But if you are going to focus on writing articles, you need to make sure that you have a distribution plan. So not just putting them on LinkedIn, but putting them on your blog, sending them out in email, sending them out in social media, going to perhaps like industry associations or chambers of commerce to say, hey, I wrote this article, it's good for these kinds of people or whatever. If you want to, consider including this in your monthly newsletter or whatever it is, or on your website. You need to go far beyond just LinkedIn if you're going to try and use that as a strategy, unless you are, truly exceptional, have truly exceptional knowledge or experience that people, once they see your name, they go, oh, I know who that is. But if you're not that person, you need to make sure that your distribution strategy is as big as possible.
Thank you. So another attendee today has a question about TikTok. So this person has seen or has heard information about younger generations using TikTok as almost its own sort of search engine. And so do you have thoughts particularly about TikTok and lead generation?
Yeah, TikTok is actually quite useful. And I've seen research also about people looking on TikTok almost like as a kind of a search engine. But you do have to remember who's on TikTok. So you're not going to get business owners or people that own big businesses. They're not on TikTok. It's going to be more of the younger generation. And if those are your customers, great. Now, I have friends and customers that I have two in particular that have hired TikTok coaches and to create videos, and this works very well for them. But they are told to post videos 3 times a day on TikTok if they're going to make this work. So you've got to be able to create 3 good videos a day on TikTok if you're going to hope to build a business using TikTok.
So in regard to TikTok, you've mentioned the value of video, but what about video quality? Do you have any easy to use video editor recommendations for beginners?
There's nothing really easy. The easiest stuff I would say is iMovie. And you can download iMovie, that's Apple's movie editor. You could download it free, even to a PC. And I believe, I don't use a PC, so I'm just guessing there, but I'm pretty sure you can. And you can use, and that would probably be one of the best video tools. There's also a thing, well, Canva does video, so you could try Canva, and Canva's fantastic, great tool. And there's also a thing called Lumen 5, Lumen, and the number 5. And that's also a video video production tool.
Thank you. All right, I think we got all of the social media questions, but as a follow-up related, I know when you were talking about LinkedIn, you talked about targeting companies more than individuals. And so we have somebody who works for a commercial real estate investment company, and they're focused not on the individual, but on companies, attracting companies. So what would you suggest for lead generation on it in that particular situation? When you need to target a little bit different audience.
Yeah, so LinkedIn is very good for targeting either individuals or businesses, because you see in their profiles, kind of what they do and that kind of thing. So it could be very good in your situation. There's, you might want to try the LinkedIn Premium or the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And with those tools, you can do much more powerful searches to find specific people that you want to potentially find and connect to. So, whether it's, certain types of companies or role in a business, or, the region, or, whatever, you can sort of do all these very powerful searches and find the people that you want to connect with, and so that could work quite well.
Excellent. One of our attendees commented that there are also lots of great mobile video editors, so ones that you can just use on your phone as well. So thank you for that comment. And another one wanted clarification. So Constant Contact doesn't have a video editor as part of its suite of tools, correct?
No.
Okay. Awesome. Now, early in the presentation, you talked about optimizing a page for a specific term. So then does it make sense to have different pages on your website optimized for different terms? Like how do you approach that, that idea of the single optimization term, and then, having that over the course of a whole website?
And that's where it gets really, there, you can do all of this research on keywords, and Google will give you all the data they have in terms of what people are searching for and what terms they're using and number of searches, all that. They'll give it all to you. But that's where sort of the art comes in, is picking the right keywords and then optimizing your website for these keywords. So it's not easy, and because you're going to come up with several keyword phrases that are quite similar, that you might say, well, I really want all 3 of these or all 5 of these or whatever. And yeah, then you have to either create new pages on your website, or that's where blog articles can help, because you can sort of focus on another keyword that you may not have been able to focus on in your with your website, but you want to see if you're going to get any visibility and traction with that kind of keyword. A blog isn't quite as capable of focusing on a keyword as is a normal page of your website, because of the code and how it's built, but it still can be useful. Now, the other thing to think about then would be the use of hashtags on social media. So, you could post a blog article or something like that, or a social post, and use the keywords that you want to be found by. You can use those as hashtags, and that might help you get found for more keywords. And that's where using YouTube is really good, because you can, it's a good place to host your videos, and then you could use your hashtags and, write your description of the video. And then, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world behind Google, and it's owned by Google. So, you can also do it that way. Yeah. And the other thing is, again, if you have keyword phrases that are very appealing to you, that's where search ads come into play and work really, really well. I'm telling you, if you're at all interested in this, reach out to me and I'll show you the performance of some of our campaigns, and you will be surprised at how much traffic we can generate to your website. And search ads, remember, are people that have intent, right? If I'm going onto Google and typing, retirement planning, I'm not doing this for fun or entertainment. I want to learn something. So then, your ads are shown, and if somebody clicks on the ad and goes to wherever your link takes them, these are people that have intent because they're actively searching. And that's why these search ads work so very well. And so, again, the performance we've gotten on these is, with a $500 a month spend, is just fantastic. And why wouldn't you do it, right? We're getting ROIs of like 5 to 7.5 times what your ad spend is. So meaning if you spend $500, you're going to get 7.5 times that in revenue. If I knew that, which I know, which I do, then why would you not do it? You're getting 7.5 times how much you invest, and you're getting that in revenue. So it's a no-brainer. And again, we know it works because we're doing it for campaigns right now.
Wonderful. It's nice to know that those campaigns can be so successful with that amount of return on investment. So thank you. And I dropped Erik's contact info in the chat. So if anyone is interested in getting in touch with him, I know he does free consultations. Is that correct, Erik?
Absolutely. And here's my contact information at the bottom of this email. There's my email and phone, and just go to our website and you can send us a message or whatever you want. Okay.
Wonderful. So the next question then, are there any free auto email generating programs out there?
Free auto generating emails. I wouldn't use a free auto generating anything for my marketing, because we know that artificial intelligence hallucinates. So you might have something creating stuff, sending emails out that is completely not true. And I don't want to do that for my business. I would never do that for a customer. But Constant Contact does have AI built into their system now. So you can literally put in a couple of keywords and it will create a whole email for you. And, I would definitely check it, make sure it's factually correct, and that it's saying things in a way that you want it said. But it will create and generate an email for you based on a couple of prompts. So yeah, so it does have.
Right. So Constant Contact, they do have some lower priced entry points, correct, for small business owners?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Are there any other email marketing services that you know have some lower price points for those entering this email marketing world?
Yeah, most of the systems that you see out there have some sort of low price or free starter trial package. So MailChimp, Klaviyo, Robly, ActiveCampaign, most of them have some sort of free or low cost thing. Um, Constant Contact starts at I think either $9.99 or $12. And the reason they don't have like you can set up a free account just like anybody else, but um, you can only send out a very limited number of emails. But the reason theirs is not really like a free platform in the beginning is that you get live customer support. So you can call and talk to someone. And the other ones that don't have that do have a free starter thing don't have that. So if that's important to you, then you know.
Awesome. Now, uh, what do you recommend as best courses of action, best practices for avoiding being classified as a spammer or getting blacklisted? So you make sure you don't run afoul of those type of situations.
Very easy. Only use the email addresses that you've been given. Don't go and, scrape emails off the web. And Also, the other thing that's very important is make sure that you have a unsubscribe feature on the email you're sending. So Constant Contact, for example, forces you to have an unsubscribe feature on every email that goes out. And therefore, Constant Contact is in compliance with the FCC. So those two things, and you should be fine.
Wonderful. So this is a very interesting question. Should one be concerned about giving away too much when offering free resources or tools for lead generation? In other words, if given for free, does that deter potential clients from getting paid products and services from that business?
I mean, I suppose yes, that you certainly can't give away everything, right? You do have to make sure that you are being paid for the work that you do. Um, but there's always some sort of either educational or informational or news related information that you can share that's beneficial. So, there's like in retirement planning, there's all sorts of surveys and reports and stuff like that that you're giving really good useful information to your clients if you're in that situation. But if somebody wants a real financial plan that's going to you know be relevant to them, then they've got to pay for you, right? And most yeah, most customers are reasonable enough when it comes to that. You might get a crazy one once in a while, which I've had, um, but if what you're doing is you're trying to demonstrate your knowledge and expertise and maybe a bit of your process, right? So if you're like a contractor, you can say, hey, here's a couple of samples of projects we've done. Okay, so a customer could take that and say, well, I want to build the same thing. But if they're going to do that and they're going to go out and buy all the stuff and try and build them themselves, it's going to come out horribly, right? I mean, if I tried to build a deck myself, it would be a disaster. So, I think hopefully there's a pretty clear line where, there's the you're giving some useful information, you're demonstrating your expertise and your knowledge, but you're not giving them specific help on their situation, or you're not doing work on their particular project. So yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the best way to do it. And if if you're worried about it, stick to more of the just industry information. Here's some products that our suppliers sell, or here's some new ways of doing things, or but don't and then don't give them all the details so they can just do it themselves.
Thank you. We do have a question about some of those mobile video apps. So I'll see if we can find some information about that and include that in the follow-up email for everybody.
Okay.
Our
I
last
know,
question.
I know YouTube had a tool, and this was a while ago. I haven't seen it lately, but they had like they had a special app for creators. So that might be something, but you could certainly search on Google for something like that and see what you can find.
All right. So this is our last question for today, and thank you again for being so generous with your time. You have been throughout this whole series, and we're very grateful. This attendee has heard about some platforms like Apollo.io and Versium Reach. Are you familiar with those? And do you feel that they can be beneficial if you are?
I'm actually not familiar with those. I haven't heard of those.
Okay. No problem.
So one comment, our customers often are asking for the free and the cheap and the quick, and there aren't magic platforms out there. So I would say quit trying to find one and use the tools that that are out there. Have a decent website that's informative, that's current, that's attractive, that's easy to use. Do email marketing, okay? Whatever platform, Constant Contact, MailChimp, Klaviyo, HubSpot, Salesforce, do email marketing, do social media, right? Maybe one or two different platforms. Try and create some video. The video can be very simple. You can literally record video in Canva. You can record it in Zoom and Teams. You don't need all these tools. So I would focus more on the content and the frequent and consistent production and distribution of these pieces of content, written and video. And that's the most important part. And I know that people are looking to try and find a magic platform that's free and will do everything for them, but it's not that way. It is hard work, and you do have to put time in, and you do have to do it consistently over time with a variety of these tools to make it work. And so that I would leave that as my last thought. Yeah.
Wonderful. And so we did have a last minute comment about Zoom. And so I'm glad you actually mentioned it in the answer to that question. Do you see any other uses that people have for Zoom as far as lead generation, webinars? I mean, do you see any of those type of items giving a decent return on investment?
Well, webinars are a tried and true method of lead generation. Financial advisors and benefits brokers and benefits providers and, marketing people, have do this all the time. And, it does work. It works very well. And, even if you're doing it for, professional associations or chambers of commerce or the SBDC or bids, business improvement districts. There's a lot for nonprofits. There's lots and lots of ways to find people to speak to. And if everybody is looking for valuable information, we're all looking to be better, smarter, faster, healthier, richer, more successful, so everybody in the whole world is looking for these kinds of things. Or let's just say America. Everybody in America is looking for these things. And so, go out and teach them. And it will be good because again, you are talking to potential customers. You are learning what they want. You are learning their concerns and their needs through the questions they ask, the communications, the conversations you have. So, financial planners and those guys, they know that, these kinds of things are very successful and helpful and they work. So it's definitely something that's worthwhile. I mean, you can even do classes that you record and sell. There's lots of that going on, right? And that works really, really well. And all you have to do is make your class once, and then you can sell it over and over and over again. So it's a great way to get new customers. And think about all the other things like paint and sip, kind of events, or cooking classes. That's just a way to give people a social event and, give them a little bit of helpful information on the side kind of thing. So yeah, getting in front of your customers is very important.
Well, thank you again, Erik, for being so generous with your time and your information through our webinar series. You've done an amazing presentation of 4 for us, and we really appreciate that. We had a question if we will have the links to the recordings of previous presentations, and yes, we will put those in that follow-up email as well, so you can go back and refer to any part of this series that Erik has done for us. And so thank you to all of our attendees today as well who have had fantastic questions. You definitely add so much value to these webinars by bringing your questions and your specific scenarios. And so we're grateful for you as well. We will wrap things up for today. Please, if you have a moment, we would love to have your feedback in the follow-up survey that will show when I shut down the webinar and will also be linked in that follow-up email. And last words, Erik. We'll send off everybody with your last words today.
Thank you all for being here. Good luck, and we'll look forward to talking with you at some point soon.
Right. Goodbye, everyone. Have a lovely rest of your day.